Hey there, friends. Pastor Dave here with another weekly devotion for all the saints. Hope you're doing well this Wednesday. I'm going to start us off with a reading from Sarah Arthur's Coffee with God. This is a quick devotion to get us thinking about what matters. The mass of men lead lives of quiet desperation. Henry David Thoreau. I look out this library window and see students coming and going and coming. Their minds filled with whatever their minds are filled with. I have no idea how many of them have an awareness of God from hour to hour, or what that means to them if they do. And I can't help thinking that if they have no awareness of God, and thus no awareness of their own fallenness or worth, then their lives must be basically desperate, under the surface anyway. On the outside, they look cool and capable. Most of the girls walk like they're parading down a beauty pageant runway. Many guys strut like they've just won a national championship. Even the grad students and scholars walk like they own the earth. And yet, Thoreau was on to something 150 years ago. He saw their secret. He knew that deep down most people are quietly obsessing about appearance, frantic about the future, miserable about the past, carrying relational burdens that threaten to bring them down, terrified of failure, secretly addicted to any number of vices. We are desperate, if all the statistics about young adult depression and anxiety are correct, desperate as we work ourselves into a frenzy over jobs or grades or grad school applications, as we drink ourselves into a stupor every weekend. The mass of students here at this distinguished university lead lives of quiet desperation. It's enough to make me depressed, and I've been given a kingdom that is unshakable. Yet I look out this window, and instead of claiming the hope that I have in Christ, I find my spirit sinking with discouragement. I'm like the teacher in Ecclesiastes who looked down from his palace balustrade in Jerusalem, watching the travelers on the streets, the merchants in the marketplace, the priests and Levites in their endless parades to and from the temple. I look out on all this human busyness, this fruitless activity, and I say, everything is meaningless, utterly meaningless. Everything under the sun. It's a good thing God is beyond the sun. Saints, I think, when we were children, we had a sense that the adults around us knew what they were doing, that they were competent, capable, grown-up people who could answer all of our questions, who could take care of all of our boo-boos, who could always get us to where we needed to be and make sure that we were fed and had, something nice to drink before bed. I have loved growing into that role and that responsibility as a father, but it's also been, let's say, eye-opening to realize that the older I get, the more obvious it is to me that adults don't know what we're doing any better than kids do a lot of the time. Or at least, let's say, adults never reached that stage of infallibility and complete omniscience and just being fully comfortable with all of the responsibilities that we have and our own ability to answer all the questions that are out there. There's something like what Sarah was describing in these college students that she sees walking across the campus. There's an outward image that we try to project, and then there's an inward reality that is a lot of the time much more confused, anxious, despairing might be the right word, or it might be overstating it, but somehow not quite settled. I think that we have all experienced that, and I think that we nevertheless try to present that image of people who are put together and who know what we're doing. It's hard to be honest about the ways that we have fallen short of our own expectations. It's hard to admit that we don't have all the answers. That's why I love the way that she ended that devotion with, the recognition that we're like the writer of Ecclesiastes to a great degree. We can look around and be overwhelmed by all the mystery and all the unansweredness surrounding us. We could be, despairing because nothing seems to have an ultimate purpose or meaning. Or we could be grateful that there is a God who is beyond all that we see, all that we understand, all that we are capable of expressing. There is a God who stands beyond, outside, above, sovereign, whatever language you want to use to describe that. There is a God who is more than what we are, more than what we know. And because that God exists, there is meaning to be found, even if we haven't found it all yet. You know, we may not, this side of heaven, come to the pure and perfect knowledge that we desire or think that we ought to have, but that knowledge is out there to be known, because there is a sensible God who created a sensible universe. And so what we can do in the meantime is keep pressing toward that, knowing that our lives have purpose and meaning because they are given by God. Saints, I know it's not easy, but perhaps that gives you a little bit of comfort and perspective. It's your devotion for this week. I hope it's helpful and worth thinking about. Hope you're doing well, staying healthy. I'll be praying for you, saints. Please keep praying for me. I'll see you all again soon. Take care.